Hey everyone. Today we have another New York Times crossword looking at a Tuesday puzzle today. So it should be slightly harder than a Monday, so maybe a slightly longer video. So let's get into it. A lawn game played with a ball known as a Polino. I don't know what a Polino is, but bocce ball seems to fit. We'll try that. Thin snack. Is that like a crisp potato chip? Formal words of commitment. I'm thinking of like I do's. That's sometimes a crossword answer. Vows, oaths. None of those fit. Let's keep going. Omitted as a syllable. So when you leave a syllable out. Shortened. Not sure. Toyed with. Played with, teased. Not sure. Neighborhood in Lower Manhattan. I know there's ones called like Soho, that kind of stuff. Tribeca, Midtown. Do any of these fit? I don't know too much about Manhattan. We'll keep going. This one looks like it'll be part of the theme with the circles. Exhibited heliotropism as a flower. Well, I'm not sure what heliotropism is. I know helio means sun. So something about a flower and a sun. Maybe like photosynthesis. I'm looking at some of these other themed answers. Can we find... There's usually one clue here that'll have something to do with like the circled letters. We'll go ahead and find that later. Let's keep working here. Bully and Back to the Future. Some of you will know this one, I do not. Home for the artist Edvard Munch. Is he the one that did the Scream? Four-letter city begins with O. I can think of Oslo, so we'll try that for now. I don't know if Munch is a particularly Norwegian last name. We'll see. Spicy ramen condiment. Starts with C. I'm not sure. Monte blank. That would be Monte Cristo. Well, that doesn't fit. No, Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo. John, who sang Benny and the Jets. I can hear the song in my head, but I don't know his name, unfortunately. Exploded. Combusted? That's not gonna fit. This is a lot of letters. Exploded. Not sure. Layman's term. So lay. The question mark means it's gonna be kind of a funny answer. So I'm thinking of like the Hawaiian necklace. So it could be aloha, which would mean crisp is wrong. Let's see if we can get any of these other ones. Rank's counterpart on a chessboard. Okay, I know this one, so it can't be crisp because this is called a file. It's ranks and files. It's the columns and rows on a chessboard. New Jersey City named for its most famous former resident. That feels like one that's going to be obvious once we get it, but I'm not sure yet. Let's fill in aloha for now. A thin snack. Could that be a wafer? Come back. Return. That seems to fit. Omitted as a syllable. Let's see if we can get this neighborhood now. Still not sure. Ballet or ballroom, for example. Ballet or ballroom? Dance? Type of dance? Part of a Tolkien army. That's an orc. That's a common crossword word. Novelist Bronte. I know there's Emily Bronte. I forget if they were sisters or not. I mean, Jane fits, but that doesn't particularly ring a bell. Looking at this one, remember helio means sun, so I do see that sun fits here. So maybe the sun. Something the sun. Nolita. I've heard of that. Nolita is the neighborhood. Exploded. Went kaboom. That would be funny. Does fit. I guess we'll run with it until we see otherwise. Aha, New Jersey City named for its most famous former resident. That must be Edison. I actually know somebody who lives, or was from there. So I have heard of that town. Omitted as a syllable is elided. Okay, I haven't heard of that, but it seems to fit. Anne Bronte, I guess, is the name I can think of there. Again, doesn't ring a bell, but I think the other sister is the more famous writer, so maybe that makes sense. Joe's co-host on Morning Joe. I don't think I know what that is. Plus or minus 1. Plus or minus 1. So question mark. So I'm thinking right now like plus or minus 1, right? So something either when you're, giving an approximation, but the question mark makes me think I should be thinking about it slightly differently. Plus or minus 1. Like a sign. Not sure. Did we go through all of these downs? About this one. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm not sure what this is. This his former name or something? I haven't heard of that. First phase of a home reno. So they've shortened renovation, which means the answer will also be shortened because it's demo for demolition. What gives gin fizz its fizz? Well, soda. Soda will give it the fizz. So we can see the sun here. That's in the bubbles. So I wonder if these bubbles will be the sun. We'll see what these 3 bubbles will be. So how would a flower exhibit heliotropism? I'm thinking like when a flower like kind of leans towards the sun, it faces the sun, right? It grows towards the sun. But I'm not sure how to fit that into the crossword quite yet. Are we stuck up here? I think we are. Toyed with. Yeah, not sure. Let's keep on working here. Big fuss. I think that's an ado. Could be like a row, too. We'll go with that for now. It's a common crossword word. Prepared for an oral exam. So again with the question mark. These are often hard to get without some other clues. Because it's, it basically means the clue's not straightforward, so you have to think about it in a different kind of way. And I find that tough with no other letters. Construction beam. Could it be something bar? I know there's like an I-beam, but that doesn't fit. Like an I-bar? Another letter bar? Not sure. Abolitionist who wrote 12 Years a Slave. So it could be that sun goes here, but we're not really sure what the circles mean yet. But either way, I'm not familiar with that author. Fantasy sports scoring standard informally. Don't really play fantasy sports. What's it called in sports betting? There's like a money, that's right, there's money line, but that doesn't fit. Like a stat? I'm not sure. Bygone phrase for gone by. So an older way to say gone by, like, not sure, let's work on some downs here. Word after kick or bad. Kick or bad. Bad act, bad. Not sure. The way in Chinese pinyin. The way. I'm not sure. Track and field athlete with a strong arm. Starting with S. So what is there? There's like shot put. That starts with S. Shot put. I don't know what you call a shot put athlete. Shot putter? Shot putter? I guess that makes sense. Okay, so if everything we have here is correct, then there's an E here and an O there. So these aren't necessarily the same three letters, which is sometimes the case with the themes. Finished off. Ended could be. Although this is probably a vowel. Joe's co-host. I mean, Micah? I've never... You know, if we fill in each of these vowels, I've never heard of a name like any of these. Micah seems the most promising. Try that for now. Pretentiously avant-garde. Not sure what that would be. Yap from a lap. Yap from a lap. So could that be like a dog bark from a lap dog? Like a yip? Yip, maybe? Construction beam. Te blank. I love you in Spanish. That's te amo. Dweeb. Well, that can be both nerd and... What's the other one? There's another four-letter word that means the same thing. Fantasy sports scoring standard. Nerd, I feel like there's another way to say that. Nerd, dweeb, geek, that's right, geek. Does that work any better? Not sure about that. This puzzle's definitely given us some trouble so far. I think I'm gonna just go through the puzzle instead of trying to fill in, and then we'll work our way back through a second time once we see all the clues. Enough, I get it. And with quotes, it's something you say. Okay, okay. That would fit if this is geek. Overly proper. Prim and proper. Cambridge or Oxford to a Londoner. Well, those are universities, so I guess uni. British people call it uni. big initials in theaters. So there's what, IMAX, AMC? AMC is a pretty big theater company. Let's try that. Dip that might be made in a molcajete informally. I don't know what a molcajete is, but it sounds Spanish, and guac would be an informal way to say guacamole. So let's try that. Poor review. So if you review something and it's really bad, what would you call it? I'm not sure. Went uneaten at some groceries. So the groceries, I guess, they went bad, they spoiled, they rotted. Not sure, it's sometimes hard to get those longer ones like that. Classic Asimov collection. So he wrote a lot of sci-fi. So some sci-fi series. Can't think of anything. Part of a calendar septet. And if, oh, here's the thing to do with a theme. So a phonetic hint to this puzzle's theme. So a septet, I think sept means 7. So could this be a day? Like a day of a week is part of a septet? Oh. Sun is Sunday. I wonder if this is going to be mun for Monday. A phonetic hint to this puzzle's theme. Part of a, like, day of the week, but obviously that doesn't fit. So let's think about this. What has an E in the middle? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So let's try wed. Right, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that'll be the only one that would work. So something wed the sun. Not immediately fitting. This one I have no real chance of getting. I'm not sure what that is. Well, I know he's a basketball player, but I don't know what his first name would be. Let's see if this fits in. Finished off. Did it? I guess that fits. That makes this one looks pretty weird. I mean, it could be an I bar. I always hear it called like an I beam though. I'm gonna just delete the yip for now and we'll see what happens there. Okay, so part of a septet. So we think it is, so there's 6 circled abbreviations. I wonder if this would be like the 7th day? But that wouldn't really be a phonetic hint, would it? Well, let's keep going for now. Florida's a Sunshine City for short. For short, so it's like a, I don't know what Florida city has a shortened name. Jayville for Jacksonville? Do they call it that? Orlando, Miami, Tallahassee. I can't really think of a shortening for any of those. Besides, Jayville does fit, but I don't know if they really call it that. Let's see, futile. So that means like pointless, right? Not worth trying. Philly basketball player. It's a Sixer, they're the 76ers. Leafs through. Okay, so if you leaf through a book, that means like, you know, turning the pages. Because pages, I think, are called leaves. So leafs through. Not sure. Alright, let's continue going through all the clues here. Go through some of the downs. Alright, we've tried these. Okay, jazz singer Jones. This is a first name. Not sure. Elvis hit that was the B-side of Don't Be Cruel. Don't know a lot of Elvis songs. Caterer's Container. A bin? You wouldn't really think of a caterer as bringing a bin, though. It's more like those trays, like the big trays of food, with like the heater underneath them. I can't think of there's a special name for those. Smallest Canadian province for short. Well, that's Prince Edward Island, so PEI. Stop in a desert, that's an oasis. And so because we have an S here, and we already have Sunday, I think we can fill in Saturday here. Once popular big box store, so that's Kmart's. Ocean creatures with nearly triple the neural wiring of humans. That's octopus, and so plural is octopi. Rapper whose name sounds like a beverage. It's iced tea. I was thinking about Ice Cube, but I think there's also an iced tea. Well, we'll see if that ends up working out. $1,000 bill, slangly. $1,000 bill. I don't think there's ever been a $1,000 bill. Like I've heard of like, whatever, if you have a band of $100 bills, but not sure about that one. Before surgery, informally. That's probably pre-op, pre-operation. Alright, so if that's an R, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, F-R-I, be the only one that would fit with an R in the middle. So what's left? Monday, Tuesday, so Tuesday and Thursday. Well, at the start I mentioned this puzzle is a Tuesday. So what if this is Tuesday and this is Thursday? That does make sense. So we have every day of the week, and the day of the week that today is the one that's spelled out all the way. That could make some sense. I don't know if I'm gonna know this author though. This might be one that we have to just get by getting the crossings from the down. Because I think if I was gonna know their name, I would know it by now with all these letters. Let's see what this is. So went uneaten as some groceries. Okay, so sat in the fridge. Sat in the fridge. Went uneaten. That makes sense. Let's keep working on these downs. Writer, podcaster, Harris. Not sure about that. A mountain goat. That's an ibex. A good time is fun. Be wide open. I guess that's gape. Parts of the Mona Lisa that seem to follow you around. That's the eyes. They say when you look her in the eyes and then move around the room, she follows you. It always looks like she's looking at you. Okay, and that's it for all the downs as well as the acrosses. Looks like we're doing a little better on the bottom here, so let's finish this off. The classic Asimov collection, that's I, Robot. Originally a book made into the movie with Will Smith. Okay. Florida's Sunshine City. It was not Jayville. St. Pete for St. Petersburg. That makes a little more sense. $1,000 bill, a G note. Okay, so a G is 1,000, sure. Futile. No hope. No hope. That makes sense. Leafs through. I actually thought about this, but I didn't say. I think pores could fit. Like you pore over the pages. Although that means like studying usually, not just like, lazily leafing through. We'll see. Elvis hit. That was the B-side of Don't Be Cruel. Oh boy. I'm just not gonna know this one, I don't think. Poor review. Short word. Starting with P. I don't think I know. Construction beam. Could this be arty? I'd usually hear that as like artsy, but arty does fit. It's avant-garde, right? That's like kind of an art term. Right? It means you're kind of breaking the rules in a way that I think a novice would, but because you're an expert, you breaking certain rules is now somehow more interesting. I guess this is Ibar. We'll go with that. Man, with this name, so I mean, it's going to be a first name, then a last name. I can't even, so sometimes it can help to like try to figure out like, okay, where's the break between the first name and the last name, but I really can't figure it out here. So it's going to end in thup. Just not good enough at the history, I guess. Yap from a lap. Okay, so we thought this had to do with, a dog barking. So this is probably arf. Bygone phrase for gone by. That's of yore. This is an urn. I don't really think of caterers as bringing things in urns, but I guess so. What could this be? How? Hour? Hour? I mean, these two D's next to each other is tough. I'm sure somebody out there knows this and is just losing their mind that I haven't heard of this. Or maybe I have one of these crossings wrong. Either way, I don't think I'm gonna get that right now. Writer, podcaster, Harris. So this is probably a last name, so we're looking for a first name here. And this does not look like a common first name. If we have everything right here. Scoring standard. It's also informally. Yeah, I'm not sure. Jones, again a first name. Alright, let's keep moving. So we think we have top right, bottom left looks good. We have a small gap down here and then some big gaps up here. Let's see if we can figure some of this out. Unfortunately, none of the work we did down here has really helped us to unlock more up here. So we're kind of where we left off. Formal words of commitment. Swears? No, it doesn't fit. Yeah, I'm not sure. Toyed with. I feel like if I get one more like down here, I'll be able to unlock this. Am I certain that bocce ball is right? Not necessarily. That's just kind of a guess. Just kind of seemed to fit. Monte Carlo, that's probably correct. Oslo is also a guess. What's another? I guess this doesn't have to be a city. This could be a country too. It's a four-letter country or city that starts with O. Oman. I don't think that's where he's from. Oslo seems like a reasonable guess. Spicy ramen condiment. I mean, what am I thinking here? Like sriracha? That's like Korean. Chili oil? Chili oil? Could be onto something there. Chili oil. Formal words of commitment. I shall. I was thinking of it like formal, like what you would call the words. Like, oh, those are vows, or that's a swear. But the actual literal words, if you say I shall, you're making a formal, you're formally saying that you're committing. So that kind of makes sense. Toyed with. Yeah, there's a lot of seemingly tough to get first names in this puzzle. Quite a few that I've left blank. So how do we make a first name out of L blank W? I mean, law is a word. Lou. Low. None of those really stand out to me as names. Is it Elton John? Oh man. Another first name. I thought the John would be the first name, but maybe it's the last name. Toyed with, flirted. Okay. And the Lou. Exhibited heliotropism as a flower. So it was kind of the right idea I had before, like, you know, the flower growing towards the sun, it followed the sun. The bully is Biff. Okay, it does sound like a bully's name, I guess. Alright, what do we got here? Word after kick or bad. Okay, so it's a word, not a suffix. I was kind of thinking about it like something built on. Okay, so it's a three-letter word. Kick or bad. Bad act, bad kick act. Doesn't make sense. Bad apple, obviously that doesn't fit. Bad age, kick age. Prepared for an oral exam. So what's the funny way to think about this? So obviously I'm thinking about how would you prepare for a test that you take, you know, vocally. But what's another way we could think about an oral exam? Oh, you could also think about it, right, like a dentist. Right, so you flossed, brushed your teeth. Still might be thinking about it a little too literally. Alright, so we have almost everything here. Torthup is the last name. Montorthup. L Montorthup. Like E-L. So if the first name is L. Not sure. The way. L. Is L likely to be in a Chinese word? Is it like Nara Jones? Iota? I've heard of iota. I guess we're still not sure about geek. Although if okay, okay is correct, then geek would probably be correct because it has the K here. I guess this is all we really know for sure, is the K. Is there another way to put this? Not sure. I might end up using the check here. Just see what we have right and see what we have wrong. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so it was indeed not geek. And it was not Nara. And this is wrong too, which is slightly surprising. I guess I said at the time, yeah, pores kind of means study, which doesn't really fit. So leaf, oh, so pages through, I guess. So the way check works is if you check the puzzle once, it'll just tell you what's right or wrong. You can also put on auto check, so it'll check as you go. If I really get in trouble, maybe I'll put that on, but for now we'll just use that one-time check. So you can see here it's not telling us whether these letters are correct yet. Hound dog seems to make sense. Haven't heard of it, but those are English words. Poor review. Pan, pin, pawn, pun, pun? I don't know about that. And then what's this? Harris. Yeah, I mean, this is a first name. I still feel like I don't know. Let's keep going. Finished off. So did it was wrong. Right, I had T here. Finished off. Did in. Did in. Okay. So is Northup the last name? Could be. No first name is coming to mind there. It's not Nara. I mean, Nora is maybe a slightly more promising. You know, I've heard of the word roto in reference to fantasy sports. Like, I think there's a website called like Roto Grinders or something. I don't know what it means, but I've heard that word in relation to fantasy sports. Ah, dweeb, dork. There's a third word. So it's funny because geek, nerd, and dork all fit there. But we can only figure out which one's correct from the crossings. So there we go, dork. Solomon, maybe? Solomon Northup? Sure, we'll give it a try. Word after kick or bad? Ads. Kick ads, bad ads. Abs? Oh. Some of you have probably known this the whole time, huh? Kick ass, badass. I should have got that one sooner. The way, is it Dow? It is Dow because this is said ah. Like when you go to the doctor and they say, they get their tongue depressor out and they say ah. Said ah. Okay. That was a tough one to get, I think. So, if this is alright, then we just have one left here. And I mean, poor review, Pan, doesn't make sense, but Aisha kind of sounds like a name. Let's try that. Alright, it was Aisha, and poor review is a Pan. Not sure I understand that. But alright, we just needed one check towards the end there to kind of get things filled in and see the mistakes that we made. I thought the theme was pretty interesting, having the shortened version scattered throughout the puzzle. Tuesday, I mean, it all makes sense once you get it, but part of a calendar septet Tuesday and a phonetic hint to this puzzle's theme. So I don't understand how Tuesday is a phonetic hint to these, because phonetic means like, I think when you like sound it out, right? So Tuesday, I mean it kind of sounds like today. Tuesday. Oh, maybe it's like these days come in twos. Like there's 2 days in each of these answers. Tuesday. That's kind of a stretch, but maybe that's what they're going for there. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed this. Bit of a longer one. Sometimes the Tuesdays can be tricky for me. But appreciate you watching, and hopefully I'll see you for the next one. Take care.